Welcome back to Crystal Wellness Studios. Today is March 26th, and we are starting with our polish barrel. Look at the foam on that. This is a barrel of mixed Jaspers, but we've been running at different stages, and now we're trying to catch up. Let's see what we've got here. Get some water, get our paper towel. And let's see the condition of some of these stones. Now these are yellow Jasper. There's a whole bunch of different ones in here, but this is a yellow. Oh, nice shine. Wow. That's what I like about Jaspers. They just take like a glass-like shine. They're so beautiful. For the most part, they're rather easy to run. They're a good beginner's tumbling stone. So yeah. Whew. Really pretty. Okay, let's see what else is in here. Yellow, yellow. Here's a different color. Oh, this is a piece of Kambaba. It seems like Kambaba is always with us. Let's see. Now these are going to have to go through a burnish cycle to get all the residue off of it. Oh. Let's see. Burnish cycle is just a tablespoon of borax and some water, and you let it run for several hours. Won't hurt it to run for a full day. Oh, these are mostly yellows. Yeah. And then, you rinse it off and you're done. So that's what we will do with these. We'll put these in a burnish cycle. Look at that quartz vein in there. Isn't that? You see the top here. It's perfectly smooth, but you can see down into the quartz, into the stone. That is so cool. So cool. Yep, I'm going to go rinse these off, and then we'll get a picture before it goes into burnish, so you can kind of see everything that's in here. Oh, here's a piece of Serape. This Serape, I started in July, and it's the end of March. So it's just been in so many various stages, and then we had a couple pieces left over. I think we had like 3 pieces left in our stores, in our, the rough on the shelf, and so we added it to barrels as it went along, and this is the end of it. So we're finally getting to the last of the Serape Jasper, and wow, worth the wait. Really pretty. Very nice stone. Still has some slurry on it. Okay. Camera is really dark today. I have to get some more light, I think. Yeah, these are all yellow. Something that isn't yellow. There should be some polychrome in here too, I think. Maybe. Oh, there's another Kambaba. Kambaba is also called Crocodile Jasper. Yeah. See if we've got a flash on here. Get some. There we are. Oh, better light. Here we are. Better light. Oh. Yep. Wow, there's a lot of yellow in here. We had like 5 pounds of yellow we were trying to dig through, so Okay, I'm going to rinse this off, and then we're going to move on. We'll be right back. And we're back with our rinsed off, polished mixed Jaspers. Wow, isn't that beautiful? It's a piece of Serape. Here's that one we looked at a minute ago. There's a piece of Polychrome, also called Desert Jasper. There's a few pieces of Kambaba. There's another piece of Polychrome. And here is that last piece of Serape. Wow. Beautiful. And the rest of it's yellow Jasper. All right, now let's take a clean paper towel and dry this off. And look at the shine. Just beautiful, beautiful. All right, I think, other than a couple of pieces that have been set back, we might be actually done with our yellow Jasper and our Serape Jasper. I just don't think we have any more of it laying around. I might be wrong. There might be a few various pieces, but wow, really pretty. It shines amazing. What is that? Slurry? Nope. Just beautiful. Dry this one off. So what we did is we left the polish in the barrel. We just dug through it and got all the parts out. For our next, because polish doesn't need to be recharged, and it can run, I don't know, 3 or maybe 4 cycles before you need to recharge it. So we're going to not empty it out completely. We're going to, I think we have a barrel that's in 1000 that will be ready to go into polish this week, hopefully, and we'll use that barrel for that instead of having to waste that leftover polish. Wow. Gorgeous. Okay, we're going to put these in a burnish cycle. I've got another barrel available that I can use. And yay! We're moving forward. We'll go to the next barrel in just a moment. Okay, we are back with our Indigo Gabbro, which has been in 1 week of 1000 pre-polished aluminum oxide. And the ceramic media looks fairly good. I'm not finding any chips in here. So that looks good. The stone is ready for polish. And I'm just trying to figure out if I want to put this in a dry polish or if I want to put this in a wet polish. I mean, these stones seem to be in a good state. See, it's got a little bit of a shine to it already. Don't get that confused with the flash. Okay, Indigo Gabbro is ready for polish. We just want to inspect all the stones and make sure there's no breakage, because breakage or chips or something like that will damage the stones in polish. So we want to make darn sure these are all ready to go. And they're looking really good. Okay, Indigo Gabbro. It's also called Mystic Merlinite. Everything's got multiple names, which makes it confusing. And then don't get me started on trade names. Bane of all existence. Yeah. These have I don't want to jinx it. Everything has run fairly smoothly so far. And that is a chip, so that stays aside. We're going to have to look in the ceramic media and try and find that chip. Yeah, really pretty stuff. There's a piece of media stuck to it. Not going to be like a Jasper smooth. You know, there's definitely two different textures going on here. Ooh, Pyrite Flash. Really, really pretty. Feels nice. When it came out of 120, it still had a really rough surface, and I was really concerned. And 120 is medium silicone carbide grip. I was really concerned because the texture still felt rough and sandy. And when it went into 500, it smoothed that right out. And 500 is aluminum oxide pre-polish. And then spending that extra week in 1000 really, really helped. Not an extra week in it, but a week in it. Wow. Look at that, we went through it all. Mystic Merlinite Indigo Gabbro is ready to go to polish. So this, you can see, kind of like the end came off. And this is a really small piece, so I'm going to put this in the Zen garden, which is really growing. And we'll deal with the Zen garden on another video. But this is going to get a wash cycle. And what a wash cycle is we just put the ceramic media, the stone, back into the barrel with some water and Dreft laundry detergent. And we use Dreft. Now, some people use ivory soap, and they just like take a bar of it and then shave it. And that's more work than I'm willing to do. So I buy the Dreft baby detergent because there's no chemicals in it. And we don't want to add chemicals to the mix. We don't want to damage any of these. So the Dreft baby soap works great. We run 3, sometimes 4 wash cycles, and that's they're about 2 to 4 hours a piece. Sometimes we get busy and forget about it. So it could take up to a whole day of washing, rinsing, putting it in another wash cycle, rinsing, because the water from the first one is almost black, and the second time you run it, it's like a gray, a dark gray, and then kind of like a light gray, and then almost clear, or when it runs clear, then it's ready to go to the next stage. And the reason we run so many wash cycles is so that we do that so that there's no grit contamination We want to make sure the barrels are really clean. We give them a good scrub, again, with Druff baby soap. Sometimes I use Palmolive, to be honest, when I'm cleaning the barrels. I just use like a sponge and really clean the sides, clean it all out really good. And then, yeah. But I don't run a wash cycle with Palmolive. I just do that to clean the barrel and then rinse it out and then put everything back in it. And I'm just putting these back in here right now to transport it over to the sink. So I have everything with me when I go over there. Okay. So again, the wash cycles is to clean all the grit. Make sure everything, there's no remaining slurry, no remaining grit anywhere. All the stones, everything's nice and clean. I'm kind of rambling. And then it's ready to go to the next stage. The next stage for the Indigo Gabbro is going to be polish. And we're going to use that barrel. So we're going to reuse that polish from last week that we had the Jasper in. I think we're going to do the wet polish with this. I was thinking originally I was going to go a dry polish because it is a softer stone. But it's been doing so well. I'm going to try it in the aluminum oxide. Worst things that happens is it comes out crazed. And if it comes out crazed, then we just bring it back to like a 500 stage and run it till it smooths the surface back out again. And then we'll run it through another 1000 and, bring it back to where it's polish ready. The surface is polish ready. And then at that point, we'll put it in a dry corn cob. But I really want to try it with the wet first. And the dry corn cob polish is it's the aluminum oxide, but it's dry. There's no liquid and it's sitting in corn cob. Yeah, if we do that, I'll show you. Okay, we are on to our next barrel. Be right back. All right, and we're back with our Polychrome Jasper that has been running for 1 week in 1000. And this again is a Catchup barrel. This is stone that was in various stages for longer. So we're trying to get it caught up. And it's looking really good. That is a natural part of the stone that is not a break. Whew. It's our little mountain. Yeah, it's looking fabulous. Polychrome is a really nice Jasper to run, the Desert Jasper. It's just been wonderful. I might even still have more on the shelf to run. And then, of course, we had a couple pieces of Zebra Jasper that needed more work. And they're finally ready to move forward. And, of course, Kambaba, because Kambaba is like in all of our Jasper barrels. Goodness. There's another piece of Zebra. It almost looks like chrysoprase. But it's Polychrome. Yep. Looks fabulous. This little... Oh, and there's a piece of yellow. Wouldn't you know it? Tell you, we got Jasper everywhere. And Polychrome. All right. This is ready to move. This is a really fast barrel. It's going to polish. So I'm going to give it a wash cycles and go to polish. So it's going to put 2 in polish this week. Fantastic. Alrighty. Well, I guess I could put this little bit of ceramic media back in the barrel too, since we're here. Take it over to the sink, get it ready, and I dropped it all over here off camera. There. Alright. Polychrome is ready for a wash. Then polish. So I know what stage we're at. Okay. That's it for our barrels in 1000. We had nothing in 500 this week. So when we come back, we will be dealing with our silicone carbide barrels, our medium, which is 120, 220 grade. All right, we'll be right back. Well, this barrel is kind of crazy. This one is a miscellaneous MOHS 7 Catchup barrel. It means everything in this barrel is a MOHS 7 and can be run together, technically. And we're going to test that theory and see how it's running. So these are little bits and pieces of stone that we had that needed a little more work in medium. So all of this ran through medium, and we're going to see if it's ready to move to 500. Hopefully most of it will be. So we had some pieces of blue lace agate that still needed a little bit more work. And frankly, that feels like it could go to 120. I mean, go to 500. This needed work on the flat lap. And by the time the flat lap work got done, the rest of its batch had already moved on, so it was held back. Yeah, okay. The blue lace agate can go to 500. Some of this amethyst I thought would like never freaking get here. It's a bit rough, but it's just going to continue to erode. There. It's just going to continue to erode. It's not going to smooth out. So let's just put that in 120 in 500 and hopefully that'll do the trick. So the last few pieces of amethyst and the blue lace agate is ready to go. And let's adjust this here. Wouldn't you know there'd be another piece of Serape laying around? It's going forward. Oh, hey, Kambaba Jasper. What do you know? There's a couple pieces of it laying around. This one actually broke. This was all the way in polish, and it had broken off. So we had to bust it back to smooth it out. And now it can go forward. This is actually Crystal Praise, not Kambaba. It can go forward. Here's some Crystal Praise. This host rock was taking forever to smooth, and it's finally there. And as again is Crystal Praise. Okay, Healer Quartz. This is golden quartz, also known as Healer Quartz. Had a lot of issues with this stuff. We've had it on the flat lap, and then it had to come and catch up. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Again, this is the same as the amethyst, where it's got this little fracture, little bit cleavage and fracture lines here. It'll just continue to erode away, so I'm going to move it forward and pray it doesn't break. Zebra Jasper had some breakage, so it needed to spend a little bit more time. And I think it could stay in 120. Alright, this piece of zebra can move forward. There's a couple pieces of polychrome. That's got kind of a rough feel right here. Can you see that? So just an indent. I think it's just an indent. That can go forward. Another piece of Serape. Now this stuff had a really weird texture because of the inclusion in here. And I don't think that's ever going to go away. I mean, it does feel a lot smoother. I'm going to 500 that. Piece of poly. Oh my gosh, here's another zebra. Told you it was a really big mixed bag of tricks on this one. This is a Serape. Guess I had more Serape laying around than I thought. I really thought the last 3 pieces were done, but evidently not. So then, all of this is smoky quartz. So let's see how it's feeling. Does any of it need to stay in 120? Now, as this goes into the 500 and the 1000 pre-polish, the surface, which looks a little cloudy right now, will clear. It'll just refine it and refine it and refine it to where you can actually see into the stone. Oh, wow. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Everything but one piece. Everything can move forward to 500. Yay! Progress on this stuff. That, I think that could smooth just a little bit more. It just has a tiniest little bit of, I'm probably being too much of a perfectionist. I'm not trying to get rid of those divots because I think they're really cool and interesting, but I just don't want them quite so sharp and a little softer where it's not going to catch. This will be held back for something else that needs to be in 120. That's the same hardness. Everything else, wash cycle, 500. Oh, this is great. So we've been running a lot of Catchup stuff, but we do have some new things in here too. You know, we've got our Mexican Crazy Lace coming up next. All right, we'll be right back. We are back with our Mexican Crazy Lace, which is small to start with. Small tumbling rough. Oh, look at that. There's a piece of golden healer in here. In our 120. Okay. So, what we did last week is we took this. Oops, hang on. I'm trying to fix the focus. There. So we took the Mexican Crazy Lace that was in 6090 for, I don't know, a month. And then we put it in, and maybe it was 3 weeks in 6090. Then we moved it to 120 to see if that would help. Because they're so tiny, we didn't, we're not going to keep running it until it's perfectly smooth. But holy cow, I think it did do what we wanted it to do. It's still going to be gnarly and nubbly, and nubbly's not a word, but, little nubs, little, gosh, look at that. I think this stuff we're just going to run through because it's so small. We don't want to lose a lot of the mass. But the patterns are insane. I mean, that's a tiny little piece. Look at the patterns. Whew. Crazy. That's why they call it Crazy Lace. So we're on Zoom, so these pieces look bigger than they are. But what we want to do is we want to make sure there's no sharp edges. And I think it's doing its job. I really don't want to keep running it in 120. I do want to move this forward. There's obviously pieces that could stand to still be in 60-90, but this batch we're running different than anything else we've run. And it's because of the size. Still a little grit on there. For some reason, because it's so small, I don't think we're going to have the breakage, the chipping and breakage that I see in other sizes and other stones. And agates are really hard, MOHS 7. Yeah, I'm going to do this in a wash cycle and move it to 500. We're just going to zip this along. Ooh, this one's kind of clear. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to take a lot of time with it this week. I'm basically going to put it in a wash cycle and then move it to 500. And that is what I'm going to do with our Mexican Crazy Lace. Okay. God, could you imagine if this was a bigger size? Oh my gosh, we'd lose our minds. I guess we can only take crazy in small doses. We'll be right back with our next barrel. And we are back with our yellow Aventurine, which has been running in our 120, 220 silicone carbide grit. Kind of looks like chunks of pineapple in there, doesn't it? Oh. That is slurry. I thought I had all this washed off. There. Huh. We have to make sure there's no more grit, no more slurry left on these stones. We're going to go through all of the ceramic media off camera and look for breakage. But from a quick look, looks pretty good. But you don't want to chance it. Wow, this is some yellow. This is some beautiful, beautiful yellow. This still feels really rough. Right along the cleavage line there. This one feels lovely. The media. So this has been running for a while. Let's see, ran 60-90 for 3 weeks. And then it spent 1 week in 120. Seems to be moving along really nicely. It's feeling nice and smooth. I'm not seeing any chips. Not seeing anything that looks like it's going to break off yet. Wow, that's a nice dark yellow. Yellow Aventurine. We've run purple, and we've run peach, we've run blue. I think it like comes in almost every color of the rainbow. And I have some green, more purple, and some pink. And I have a yellow orange also, still waiting to be run. This piece is really cool. I like the shape of it. Hope that tip never breaks off. All right, it's ready to move forward. Oh my gosh, I really thought it would need another week, but after we go through the ceramic media and remove any damage, which I really don't see a lot, or any, it'll go through a wash cycle, and then it will move forward to 500. We're gonna have a lot in 500 next week. Cool. All right, we are gonna move forward to our next barrel, and I think everything left is gonna be in our coarse grit, which is the 6090. Okay, we'll be right back. And we're back with our barrels that are in 60, 90, silicone, carbide, coarse grit. And this is sea Jasper, which is a trade name for orbicular Jasper that comes from a particular mine in Madagascar. So the other trade name for this stuff is ocean Jasper, and it comes from a different mine. And then when you see items on the market that just say orbicular, it doesn't come from a particular mine, just the region in Madagascar. So, let us take a look. It's been running 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks in coarse. Kind of looks like it could use a little more. That one's got a really bad cleavage line, a bad fracture. A little bit of slurry left on it. Yeah, I just think it could run some more. I mean, like, there's a VUG, so a VUG, so that's gonna, it's like a little cave. Here you can see some druzy, which is the sparkly crystals. You can get focus. Yeah, this is not moving along as nicely as I thought it would. This is really needing a lot more work. Sorry to say. That's a really cool piece. Yeah, I'm not so sure about this. I don't think this is the greatest quality rough. Lots of little pieces of media here. I don't know. Let me give it another week. So not all Jaspers are created equal. There's another bug. Druzy Cave. just not good quality. It's just not shaping well. It's got a lot of pits. It's got, yeah, not happy with this. I will not purchase from this vendor again. This particular brand. This isn't any good. If this is typical of what sea Jasper is, I'm not going to buy from that mine. I want a better quality. Yeah. Not splitting the batch, nothing. We're just going to recharge the barrel, which means it does not go through a wash. We just put more water and more silicone carbide in here. And because it's a 3-pound barrel, I'm going to put 3 tablespoons of grit in here. And then I'm going to fill the water to about just under the top layer of stone. So I'm going to give this a shake. Hang on just a second here. I'll be right back. Didn't do much good. I was hoping to get the ceramic media to, move around the stones more. But as you can see, it's all down there at the bottom. But it'll move. It'll move around. I don't want too much ceramic media in here because this needs a lot of work. It needs to be beaten up a little bit. And by beaten up, I mean, the edges rounded off by banging into the stone. The tumbling action. Okay, I'm underwhelmed. Completely underwhelmed with the sea Jasper. And we will be right back with our next barrel that's in 6090. Okay, this next barrel is yellow Jasper, or excuse me, yellow Aventurine. And it has been running this is a split batch. So last week, half of it was ready to move to 120, and this needed more work. So I ran it again by itself. And now we're going to see if it's ready to move to 120. Because the other Aventurine is now in a wash cycle and going to go to 500. So this is going to run as a split batch all the way to the end. And this is in our 1.5 pound barrel. It's our little tiny one. So, see, this is kind of, I'm afraid that's going to chip off. That needs more work. It needs more 60-90. Edge is still rough. That's a really light yellow. That's really pretty. All right, this barrel is ready to move to 120. 3 pieces need to stay in 60-90, and I'm putting them over here with the zebra that still needs more 60-90. They're all the same MOHS hardness. Well, no, they're not. 7, 6.5 to 7. I think it'll be all right. All right, this little tiny barrel is going to get washed, and it's going to move forward to 120. It's going to get a lot more ceramic media added to it. So what we're going to do is take the split, and we are going to go wash, then 120. Okay. Wash cycle for that baby. Be right back. And we're back with our African Bloodstone. It is in 60-90 coarse silicone carbide grit since like January 24th. And it's March 26th, so 2 months. We have a lot of broken ceramic media, as you can see here. So we're going to have to go through the media very carefully and get rid of bad stuff. We left some really big pieces because we wanted them to be kind of free form. And I don't think it's going to get any better. It has some issues with some erosion around here, and we're just going to deal with it. It's just going to move forward. More broken ceramic media. This stuff is really heavy, and this really played hell with the tumblers. And again, there's a lot of this really rough feel, really rough texture. Let's see if I can dry that off. See that rough texture? Yeah, it's ready. I think this entire batch we're going to move forward because I'm tired of running it in 60-90 and I don't think it's doing it any good. I mean, it seems the smaller pieces, it's working really good on the smaller pieces. You know, they're coming along really nice. Just going to have to find a different way to tumble big, large pieces. Because I think that kind of screws with the batch. So we learned a lesson. And the big pieces just pulverizes the media. Yeah, I'm thinking that the 120 will smooth the surfaces out. I'm done with this Bloodstone. It's got to move forward. And that's it. I mean, we had a whole lot more mass, but it's been running for 2 months and this is all that's left. So yeah, you know, I may have pulled Bloodstone. Hang on, I did. Here's more. This is all Bloodstone that's ready to move to 120, and we've been waiting for the 60-90 stuff to catch up. So there's a lot more here than I thought. Okay. Wash cycle. And then we're going to run all the stuff together to 120. So the stuff that's in this bag needs a wash cycle as well. So we're going to put it all back together. Instead of having split batch of the Bloodstone, it'll be all back to one batch. We're going to run it all in our 4.5 pound barrel and wash cycles and move it to 120. Alrighty, Bloodstone's finally moving forward. Okay, be right back. And we're back with our last barrel for this week. It's in 60-90 Coarse grit, silicone carbide. Since February 15th and today's March 26th. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, 6 weeks in Coarse grit. We've been having some issues with this because rose quartz is a very heavy stone and it's in a 6 pound barrel, and then the ceramic media weighs, so it kind of overloaded the tumbler's motor capacity. So it's been running off and on for like 2 of those weeks, bringing it down to like 1 week total. Anyway, the rose quartz is a pain in the ass. It's really big pieces. It's just, you know, got some breakage. So there's chips. You know, it's like, here's a big chip that came off a piece. My hands are dirty. Here's a piece that broke off, which are kind of nice sized pieces on their own. I don't know. It just needs so much more work. Like this particular piece might be ready to move to 120. And we've been pulling stuff out, so, you know, Every time we pull it out, it makes the barrel lighter. Ugh. Gosh. This is all crazy. This is from banging into rocks. So this is damage caused by being in the tumbler. And we're hoping that staying in the 6090 will correct that issue. Again, we had great big pieces in here that are causing the trouble. So I think just to move this stuff forward, I'm going to remove these great big pieces. Oh, there's a piece of tape. Yeah. So I think I'm going to pull out that giant piece. Oh man, then I can't. This is hard. This is heartbreaking. This is all crazed. It's all beat up really bad. And it just all really needs more work. It needs more work because it's been beat up. And of course, you know, we dropped it. This one's looking kind of nice. Very little crazy. Alright, there was a piece of amethyst, a couple of pieces of smoky quartz, and again, all this shit just got beat up. All this stuff got beat up really bad. That one got broken. Ceramic media is beat up really bad. This is just bad. This whole barrel is not good. This piece of golden healer might be salvageable. Put it up with this stuff here. Let it all run together. All right. Rose quartz. Whoa. I'm not going to run these great big pieces. I was getting a little over ambitious. And they caused damage, and I learned a lesson. So I learned a lesson. I'm taking these great big pieces out. And then I'm going to find a smaller barrel. And I'm going to take this quartz here that needs to run more 6090. And I'm going to put it in a smaller barrel with ceramic media. It's going to have to sit, it's going to have to be on hold. I need a smaller barrel. And I'm not sure I have one. This is too big, I think, to fit in a 3-pound. So I'm going to need the 4-pound barrel. And the 4-pound barrel has Bloodstone in it right now. So this rose quartz is probably going to sit for a couple of weeks before we have a barrel that it can fit into that we can run. Yeah. And it's going to need another 6090. No two ways about it. Whew. My goodness. My goodness. Interesting. And then we have this peach Aventurine that needs more 6090. And we have that one piece of zebra that needs more 6090. So, yeah. A piece of amethyst is never going to get better. I wonder if I move that to 120, if it'll remove some of the crazing. It's supposed to refine the surface, but it needs more work. Okay, so that's like the story for this week. Huh. 90% successes. 2 barrels I'm not happy with. The sea Jasper, I just don't like the rough. And the rose quartz, it's just had trouble because I got over ambitious with the size of the stones I wanted to tumble. And that's my bad. Lesson learned. Okay. Yeah, I guess it's wash barrels for the rest of the day and then move things forward. And we will see you next week. Okay, it's occurred to me that we have not really shown wash cycles too much, if at all. So I thought we would do one here since we have so many. We're starting with that Polychrome Jasper mix. So this is, just drift. But look at how dirty the water is. See how black that is? It's just been several hours in a wash cycle, the first wash cycle. Look how dirty that water is. So then we just do a rinse. Take the soap off. Shake. It's rinsing clear. Then we put it back in its barrel. Okay. And then we just add another tablespoon of Drift baby soap, laundry detergent, put more water in the barrel, put the lid back on, and then now we put it back on the tumblers. I do rinse this off, or dry this off a little. Try and get some of the excess water off. Cap back on, seal it back up, and then we put it back on the tumbler for a couple more hours. And we keep doing that until the water runs clear. And these are wash cycles. Okay, that was all. Just wanted to show you a quickie. All right, have a good week, everybody.